With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back, once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network tonight. The IVRL Pinkett Ford Cup Series fires things off for race number 11 right here at the concrete jungle. That's right, the Monster Mile. Here tonight, Dover International Speedway will host race number 11. 200 laps around this 1 mile track here tonight. Stage number 1 will come to a close at lap number 40. Stage 2 at lap 80. How you doing? How you feeling out there in TV land, race fans? Glad you could all join us here tonight. As always, Dave in the Cave, bringing you all the calls from trackside, and it does indeed look like qualifying already opening up. A handful of drivers making their way out on the track already. So what do you say we get rid of that track information up on screen for you? Track cooling down a little bit from what we seen in happy hour just moments ago. 104 degrees, so over a 10-degree cool off for the track in qualifying. These drivers should see some very fast laps here tonight, this afternoon from Dover International Speedway. Let's go ahead and throw that timing and scoring up to the left-hand side of your screen. There you can see Ryan Farrell in his 43 Chevy ZL1 Camaro, top of the speed charts. Quick time belongs to Farrell. He's going to grab the provisional pole with about a minute and a half off of the stopwatch. 23:19 is the quick time here in qualifying. Lots of drivers out there trying to turn in some time lapse, trying to get themselves top of the speed charts and have a little bit of an advantage as we roll off the starting grid here tonight from Dover International Speedway. This is one of those tracks that is a track position track. I mean, I know that sounds kind of redundant to say, but I mean, really track position going a long way here at Dover, passing at a premium. It's going to be tough for these drivers to make it from the back to the front. Will we see a big strategy play, or will we just see some outright speed from a handful of drivers here tonight from Dover International Speedway? John Freeman knocking on the door of a top 5 qualifying effort. He's going to move a little bit further down through the list as drivers begin to turn in those time lapse. Freeman, last week's race winner at a crazy Talladega race. You had to watch. If you didn't tune in, you can find the replay over there on the Turn 3 Racing Network. I would suggest you go check it out. One of the closest finishes in the International Virtual Racing League Cup Series history. It was that close of a race coming down to the checkered flag. One heck of a night last week from Talladega Super Speedway, and still right here tonight with just about a minute and a half remaining in qualifying. Ryan Farrell sitting top of the speed charts, that 43 turning in the fast time. 23:19 for your pole sitter, Ryan Farrell, and we're going to be down to the final few seconds here in qualifying. Still upwards of about 10 drivers yet to put in their time, and we've got 22 on the board already. Looking to see if we've got any drivers trying to make their way to their machines and get out on a timed lap. Doesn't look like pit road very busy. Looks like most of the drivers just kind of hanging out, talking, chatting outside of the car. So with 60 seconds remaining, that's going to be it for qualifying. Nobody will dethrone Ryan Farrell from the provisional pole. He'll walk away with that top spot, and he will fire things off from the front row. We're going to step away for a quick commercial break, then head down trackside for the national anthem. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the ragged
back trackside as drivers begin to make their way to pit road, finally getting through pre-race inspection and heading to the starting grid. Let's get a little closer to the action. Let's drop ourselves a little closer to the track. What do you say, race fans? It looks like having a little bit of trouble with some of the overlays, so we'll see if we can't get this fixed up for you real fast. The drivers beginning to make their way off of pit road. One heck of a night gonna be on tap for tonight's race. We do apologize for the little bit of a hang up here. And as drivers begin to roll off of pit road, there you can see them in the distance. Why don't we jump down trackside as drivers get set to roll? And well, a little bit late to the show, but better now than never. Walking away with the top spot in qualifying was Ryan Farrell. Eric Hegdahl will line up just to his outside. Adam Wood, Matthew Montgomery right there in row number 2. Row number 3 here tonight will be the 5 of Nick Goebel, followed by Jason Ayrson. And it looks like for some reason, looks like Overlay's not wanting to cooperate, not wanting to play nice with us here tonight. We'll sort this thing out for you real fast. Let's see what's going on in the background. Let's see if we can't get that fixed up, figured out for you here tonight. Oh, and there you go. Got a lot of stuff coming up all at once. Whoa, Overlay looks like it was ready to fix itself. Once again, we do apologize for some of the technical glitches early here tonight. We hope everything's going to sort itself out and smooth itself out. And we're going to run this thing out for stage number 1. Taking the pole position here tonight inside of his 43 Chevy Z01 Camaro. Down there on that inside lane, the Exalta 43 of Ryan Farrell. Or I think that's Exalta. We'll find out here shortly. Nonetheless, Ryan Farrell bringing the field off of turn 4 to the start-finish line we go. And just like that, into the restart box, and green flag flies as the boss man of the flag stand drops the green flag for the first time here tonight. Drivers sail off into turn number 1. The 70 of Hegdahl with a little bit of a moment. He's going to lose that second position to Adam Wood. Wood will make his way into second. How about that 6 of Matthew Montgomery? Great run for Matthew so far here tonight. Started 4th, staying 4th in his best by a Chevy Z01 Camaro. Lots of battles, lots of drivers mixing it up, going at it here early tonight from Dover. Let's go back around the track if we can. Check out some of these battles. There you see Patrick Gaspar battling right now with the 41 just to his outside. Up the track now goes that 41. Here comes the 42 of John Freeman next on the list in that little scrum. Tyler Brown in the 00 trying to make up a little bit of time. Chris Whitaker, Tyler Gentry right there running with these drivers. The Cub Cadet number 7 of Gentry looking good here tonight. Started 11th, stays 11th on the restart. Not a lot of big movers so far early here tonight, as you can be expected, except for this man right here. How about the job by the next level racing driver, the 48 of Maxwell Castro, making his way up through the field with a fair amount of ease. He's up 6 positions now from where he started, and we've got Billy Holcomb dropping like a rock right now. Holcomb losing 5 positions here tonight. The 49 now outside of your top 20 and losing yet another position as Ryan Hinshaw able to get by Holcomb for 22nd. Nick Cannon, Charles Urick going at it for a moment. Cannon will grab that 16th position away from Urick. The 76 for the time being will be slotted back in the 17th position. Back up here with a big lot of cars, a big mess going on right here. There you can see Nicholas Pressey, Matthew Baker, Tyler Brown, Jaden Gimbel all lined up running with each other nose to tail while your race leader steps away. Ryan Farrell showing a lot of speed here tonight. Walked away with the pole position, and he has set sail already. Already out to 3/4 of a second race lead is that 43 of Farrell. Adam Wood right there beginning to gap the drivers behind him as well. Let's go up here with the 45 Monster Energy lime green machine. I love that paint. Absolutely love it. Not a fan of the flavor inside of that can, but a fan of the paint. Absolutely love that lime green paint scheme right there. The Toyota Camry works his way back into turn number 1, trying to run back down your race leader Ryan Farrell while continuing to separate himself. And Matthew Montgomery running in third. He's got to make up some ground because Eric Hegdahl, he's right there. Hegdahl right there closing in the 70, begins to walk down the driver in front. Jason Harrison with a solid start to tonight's race there. You can see that Tide 44 machine looking clean out there tonight. Absolute pun intended on that one. Nick Goebel, Nicholas Pressey right back behind him. 26 of Matthew Baker running inside of the top 10. Baker sitting in the 8th position. But how about one of the dominant drivers this season? Let's go back, take a look right here at Jaden Gimbel inside of that 81 machine. Gimbel has been to victory lane 3 times already so far in this short season, asserting himself as one of the dominant players in the season, but right now struggling. Gimbel sitting in the 10th position, down 3 spots from where he started tonight's race. So we'll look to see if Gimbel's playing a tire strategy here tonight, because drivers, a limited amount of tires. I think enough tires, more than enough tires in my personal opinion, but drivers starting tonight's race with 6 tires in total. The set they start tonight's race on, that they're on right now and used in qualifying, and 5 extra sets down on pit road. We will have ourselves 2 stage breaks, so look for drivers to use those fresh tires when we have those stage breaks. But you got 3 other sets to use. You typically want to kind of keep one in your back pocket for the end of the night, just in case we get one of those late race cautions. So really, the strategy comes down to if we have a string of cautions, when do you change those tires? When do you want to give up a set in pit lane? When do you want to try to make your way back up through the field? We see a lot of big names struggling a little bit here tonight, as now we've got a side-by-side battle. Jason Harrison, Matthew Baker going at it. 26 on the high side, the 44 down on the bottom. Close quarters racing as the 00 sits right behind him. Tyler Brown now looking to the bottom of the racetrack. The HMG Innovations machine will make his way up and around Matthew Baker as Baker falls back tonight. Here comes Jaden Gimbel looking to make his way a little further back to where he started tonight's race from. A little loose on corner exit. Gotta watch the tail end of these machines. If you lose it, it's very hard to catch these next-gen machines. We've seen it not only in real life, but we've seen it here on the sim, iRacing.com as well. These cars do not like when they step out. When they step out, good luck. And tonight at the Concrete Monster Mile, good luck not feeding that thing to miles. Because I'm telling you, you can have a torn-up race car pretty quickly here from Dover. Let's jump around the track just a little bit. What do you say, race fans? Let's find some action out there. 2, 3 drivers stacked up, racing for position, close off of turn number 2 right there. Very close quarters racing between that 88 of John Whitaker on the high side. 42 of John Freeman, last week's race winner, makes the position up, goes to 11th. Jason Harrison back now in 10th. As your top 10 trying to separate themselves, everybody still chasing your pole sitter, your race leader, your points leader, Jaden Gimbel, showing the way here tonight at Dover International Speedway. 18 laps now on the board. All 17 in the bag have been led by that 43. And it looks like we do have a driver that's had some trouble. Looks like the 75 of Jaden Darlin will be relegated to pit road for quite some time. I believe we're hearing word that contact with the outside wall and Darling came to pit road, and the hood went up, so it looks like they're checking out something to do with some of the shocks and things in that right front after contact with the outside wall. So we'll have to keep our eye on the mechanics and the crew down on pit lane servicing Darling's machine. Will he get his Chevy ZL1 Camaro back out on track? That's yet to be seen here tonight, but Ryan Farrell, he's off to a good start. He's feeling pretty right there where he's at. Might lead a few laps later. Jumping around. Let's go back out here, back outside of the top 10. There you can see that 41 machine. And whoa, caution, caution on the speedway. We've got trouble on the track. Trouble on the track. There you can see Nathan Lyon, the 71. Looks like he may have a little bit of damage on that left front. Let's go back. Let's see if we can't find out what happened. Let's go check our replay here tonight from Dover International Speedway. Let's go see how it all happened. Let's see what... Oh, there it is. Yep. Contact between the 49 and the 71, and great job by Line to keep the machine under him. We said moments ago that when the cars get that out of shape, it's typically hard to save them, but a heck of a job right there, white-knuckled and all, after the heavy contact on the driver's side. The 71 of Nathan Lyon able to keep the machine out of the outside wall, and that's going to be the most important factor of that incident. Unfortunately, he's going to have to come to pit road and fix a little bit of that damage, but let's jump back to the front of the field. Race leader Ryan Farrell right behind that iRacing pace car, heating up the bumper of that pace car. '29 of Tommy Schaefer will go around the outside. He receives the lucky dog here tonight. Early to get a lucky dog. 22 laps go on the board here. Very long race here tonight from Dover International Speedway. We're about halfway through. We're just over the halfway point in stage number 1. Keep in mind, race fans, remember that stage number 1 will come to a close on lap number 40. And then we will set things up for about a 35-lap run to the end of stage number 2. The caution flag will fly at the end of stage number 2, lap number 80. And then the long haul for these drivers, over 100 laps to the end of tonight's race from Dover. It's going to test these drivers. We're going to see if we can get some long green flag runs in and get some green flag pit stops. But to our point, let's look at that timing and scoring there. You see a lot of drivers that were a little bit further up through the field, now back outside of your top 20. It looks like we've had about 6 to 7 drivers come down to pit road. Got to go all the way back to the 27 of Ryan Hinshaw. Hinshaw coming to pit road, getting the fresh tire, so he'll have an advantage on the drivers in front. But will he be able to make his way through these drivers? I mean, you got less than 20 laps to get there before the end of the stage, so I don't know how hard you can push, how hard you really want to abuse these tires. Do you really want to just burn this setup, getting that track position back? We'll have to wait to see what the strategy is from about 22nd on back in the running order. As we're hearing word, boss man in the flag stand will wave the one finger at him this time around. Not that one, the other finger. It's going to be 1 to go. iRacing pace car lights will go out, and we'll get this thing double file once again. Choose line in effect. Let's see where everybody goes. Looks like most of the drivers electing their good old-fashioned typical starting spots. Not much of a mix-up with the choose line. Drivers able to go to the front or the back, and oh, we got trouble. The 43 is heading to the rear. Oh no. What has happened to Ryan Farrell? And Farrell is dropping all the way to the end. Oh no. We've got an end of the line penalty for the driver that walked away with the pole position and dominated the first part of tonight's race. The first 18 laps belonged to that 43 of Farrell. He's got old tires and he's surrounded by fresh tires. Oh, that's not going to be good for him. Let's go back to the front, though. Matthew Montgomery will fire things off in the inside lane. And there you go. The 45 of Wood nails the loud pedal, and off we go down into turn number 1. Everybody chasing that lime green Monster Energy machine. There you can see all 30-plus drivers making their way through down the backstretch towards turn number 3. Drivers fanning out as less than 15 laps to go this time around. You got to get it done if you want these stage points. And oh, we got a caution. We got a caution once again. Looks like Ryan Henshaw and Tommy Schaefer may have been involved in this one. Let's see. Do we got that one, boys? Yes, no? Do we got it? Yeah, we're getting a thumbs up. Yes, we got that one. Let's go see what happened with Henshaw. Oh, it looks like just coming across the nose and then trying to save it. And whoop. Oh my gosh, that was actually some pretty rough impact by Ryan Henshaw. Looked like he may have been able to save that thing. Tommy Schaefer also involved. Let's check out and see what happened with Schaefer. There it is. Oh man, pinball machine. Tommy Schaefer, nowhere to go, just gets blasted on both sides of his car. Not much he could do about it. Nowhere to go really for that 29. And heavy extensive damage on the tail end. The rear bumper pretty much ripped off of that machine. That's going to be a long stay on pit road. And well, let's jump back up front with your race leaders, Adam Wood, Nick Goebel, Eric Higdal, as well as Matthew Montgomery. Jaden Kimball now rounds out your top 5 here tonight from Dover International Speedway. And well, maybe, Jason, we're going to need a little bit of clarification with the admins. It looked like, I mean, to me, it looked like he chose by staying in that bottom lane. He didn't make a dramatic swing to the bottom of the track, you could argue, I say. But there again, not my place to make these kind of calls. But it looked like a clean choose to me, but we'll see. You know, it is what it is at this point. There's no arguing it. It comes down from the booth that, hey, you got the penalty, you got to serve it, is what it is. And now, the 43 of Farrell, he's just going to have to make the best of the nights that he can here. Already back up into 22nd position, and will gain another spot or two here easily. And with just about 12 laps to go, pit road doesn't seem to be very busy. The 71 of Nathan Line, he was caught up and involved in this latest incident that brought out our second caution flag of the night. He's going to head to pit road. Ryan Henshaw, Jaden Darling still down there trying to fix up on his machine. 76 of Charles Urich and Tommy Schaefer both collecting a little bit of damage as well. So the 76 and 29 have been on pit road for quite a while. They got it back out on track. And we'll restart this race from the tail end of the field. Adam Wood will be the control car. Which way will he go, top side or bottom? Being the race leader with the control of the restart, I don't think lane choice is that critical in my opinion. You can kind of play with the restart here and catch these drivers off guard and just kind of fire off and run your line. But, for me, it's the high side. Here at Dover, I want the high side to fire off. I want to be able to come off of the corner exit and really make sure I'm straight and in order and be able to fire it off and really get that nice drop-in arc down into turn one and really carry that momentum through the center, because that's where you're going to separate yourself on the restart. It's not on the initial jump on the gas and through the gears. It's really through about that center of turn one is where you're going to make up that time and be able to step away from the drivers behind you. And now you can see definitely that high side has been chosen by a handful of drivers. And, I mean, I guess me and some of these drivers and crew chiefs thinking alike here, man, because a lot of drivers went to the high line. It's about a 50-50 split on where these drivers went high side to low side, but the first few in the front of this field, the majority of your top 10 elected to stay on that outside lane. But here we go, new front row once again. 45 of Adam Wood will lead Eric Hegdahl and the rest of the field to the restart box, and we'll get set to fire things off. Well, once again here from Dover, on the front stretch, we go to the flag stand and wait for it. There it is. Green flag flies. Once again here from Dover International Speedway, everybody making their way through the center of one. And there you can see, there's that race lead we were talking about. Look at that off of turn number 2, already over a half a second advantage for Wood as he heads off into turn 3. Clean air king. Track position is king as well, and he is gone. Absolutely gone. So we'll jump around the field. We'll keep an eye on that gap at the front as we are down under 10 laps remaining here in stage number 1. Drivers going to have to really get on it if they're going to make their way inside the top 10 and grab a handful of bonus points for the stage here. Oh, and contact between the 88 and the 44 in a big mess now. Parking lot on the front stretch. Oh my goodness. That is going to be that's going to be a big one, really, to be honest, if we can with you. That's going to be a big caution here tonight, affecting a handful of drivers. Let's go back here. Let's see what happened. Jeff No caught up and involved in this one. Let's see. There's 3 wide for a moment. And that's behind the initial incident. There you can see the 88 and the 44 coming together. 41 going to grab a big piece of this, and a lot of other drivers going to catch a piece of this one as well. Tell you what, let's see if we've got another vantage point, another camera shot of some of the action here, bringing out our third caution of the night. Jason Ayrson, there you can see him going off of the nose. Ooh, 86 slides through. The 7 barely gets through. And there's the melee and mayhem. I even think the 77 caught a piece of that as well. John Tiller may have caught a piece of the action. Man, tough break, tough hit, tough lick. Is going to bring a lot of these drivers to a unfortunate circumstance early here from Dover. And, well, eating them up. Chomping these machines. Miles the Monster enjoying all the carnage on the track. Jaden Darlin, now Ryan Hinshaw, Jason Ayrson, Jeff No, Nathan Line, Randy Hinshaw, Tommy Schaefer, Charles Jurek, 41 machine also on pit road, and the birthday boy Matthew Baker. Trouble for Baker. We'll see if he was caught up and involved in that latest caution flag of the night. I think he was able to pretty much make it through clean. We're looking through everything, and it does indeed look like he was able to make it through that latest caution. And let's go take a look at him. There he is right there, clean and clear. The 26 rolls off of pit road with some fresh tires. Birthday boy looking to set himself up for a good spot here at the end of stage number 1. We're gonna have about a 4-lap shootout here to the end of stage number 1, and I believe Baker will play the strategy and will stay out at the end of stage 1. We'll wait to see if that holds to be true, but back at the front once again, drivers single file. And it looks like field given the one more around the peace line by the boss man in the flag stand this time around. So drivers will go around the track once again. Yeah, I mean, Jason, I agree with you, man. That's tough to be the leader and that happened. I mean, there again, it is what it is, man. You know, all you can do is head down, elbows up, and just get back at it. It looks like Farrell's got a fast machine out here tonight, so that's going to vote well for him. And fortunately enough, he's got these stage breaks coming up. You know, he's got these stage breaks where he can kind of take a breather, reset, and try to make his way back through the field methodically. Maybe he does it a little bit quicker on these restarts, especially with this restart and then another quick restart coming up at the end of stage number 1. So really, you can see, we'll see if Farrell's able to make his way from 12th back up inside the top 5 with these 2 quick cautions that we're going to see here. Just like that, pace car lights are off once again, so that means drivers will go double file and look at it. There you can see 3 out of your top 4 drivers all going to the top of the speedway. Here comes Jaden Gimbel. Gimbel was back around 7th or 8th moments ago, and here he is now. Gonna start second driver inside lane. With a shot for a move, really. If he's able to get up through the gears here on this restart, Gimbel's going to have a shot to possibly maybe play a 3-wide situation and get a stage win out of this thing. After struggling early here tonight with race pace, Gimbel finds himself in a solid spot now, running in the 3rd position. And here we go, drivers ready to fire things off once again. Let's go back to the front as on the gas goes Adam Wood and green flag flies once again here from Dover. Top drivers making their way around the track. Everybody chasing Wood. Nobody really able to do much with them on these restarts. It's going to be a snack up 2nd and 3rd on the racetrack. How about the 6th? And Patrick Gaspar, the 86, going at it here. Wesley Jeanette coming up into the mix, that 74 machine. Ryan Farrell, there he is, top 10. Once again, you can't keep a fast car down. I'm telling you, Farrell on a mission now to get back to the front. Lap 38 goes on the board. We'll have 39 this time around. And just look at Farrell, man. We thought he might do it a little bit, you know, a little slower, maybe a little bit more methodical, but no. Now's the time. You gotta go and grab those spots. You gotta get the track position while you can. No contact with Gaspar. It's the 43 a little bit sideways. Let's go back to the front though with your race leader, Adam Wood. Crossing the line, lap number 40 now goes on the board. We'll see the stage break caution flag fly, and there it is, just like that, right on cue. Caution flag will fly for the 4th time here tonight, but this for the stage break, walking away with the stage 1 win here tonight inside of his Monster Energy 45 machine out of Rockfish, North Carolina. The Steel Horse Racing stable driver parks his Toyota Camry front of the field. He'll have himself a handful of extra playoff points. And now what will some of these drivers do? Let's take a look here. Charles Urick was last on the pit road around lap number 33. Tommy Schaefer, Matthew Baker, Randy Hinshaw, all of those drivers at the pit road laid in the running less than 10 laps ago. Will we see them come to pit road as well? 45 will bring a long train of cars down pit road with them. So with that being said, we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break, pay a few bills. You know how that goes, race fans. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
We got big time problems with that motor, buddy. Hey, just between you and me, the idea is to avoid the other cars. Congratulations! You just set the sport back 30 years with that move. That move will put you in the Hall of Shame. You keep doing stuff like that and we're gonna lose our sponsor. Looks like that's it for us today. Now I know why you got canned by your old team. It's over. We can't fix that damage.
Looks like your car is toast. You'll need a tow back to pit lane. Press and hold your reset button and we'll come and get you.
And back trackside, high above the track, once again into turn 3, blimp cam. Driver still single file, everybody making their way back onto the track. And we've got a little bit of a mix-up at the front of this field, race fans. That's right, pit strategy coming into play here at the end of stage number 1. Matthew Baker, how about that 26? We told you he was on pit road around lap 33. It was actually lap number 34, so less than 10 laps ago, Baker was to pit road. And there you can see that choose line really coming into effect. Top 2 elected to keep that outside, but Baker with some little bit older tires will restart the race front of the field, and that top spot as the control car. Man, I don't know. It's still a long way to go. Long way to go here tonight from Dover International Speedway. I mean, we've still got over 150 laps left in tonight's race. So a long time for these things to play out, but I'm not sure. Even 10 laps, I know it's not very many, but 10 laps difference on the tires. I think I'd like to keep myself on track with the majority of the field, so I'm not quite sure how this strategy will play out for Baker, but you know, maybe he's got some of the birthday luck. Maybe he wished upon a candle earlier here today, and he's gonna walk away kind of, I don't want to say making a liar out of us, but kind of proving us wrong that those 10 laps difference on the tires don't matter that heavily. And as drivers make their way back to the restart box on the gas, oh, one driver missing some gears, and we've got a stack up, big stack up. Big stack up back here. I believe that may have been, let's see, we're trying to get a number on that one. Nick Goebel in the 24, a little bit of a rough go getting on the gas and up through the gears. Tough break for Goebel as he'll lose a handful of positions. A still hot and heavy battle up here near the front of this field. Matthew Baker leading Jaden Gimbel. There's that 81. We talked about him not being at the front. Well, here he is now running in second, 46 laps into tonight's race with Patrick Gaspar all over his rear bumper. I tell you what, let's go back, take a look up at the tail end of Jaden. There you can see, what a run through the center, and 1 and 2 there for Gaspar. Gaspar nearly running Kimball over that time, and look at that 86, man, just cut like a knife. Wow, that was an extremely easy pass here. It looks like Gimbal may be struggling now because Ryan Farrell, he's back. Inside the top 5, inside the top 3. Oh, one driver into the outside wall. We believe that's the 94 of Nicholas Pressey. There he is right there. He'll continue on back onto the track. And we stay green flag racing, lap number 50. Now going to go on the board next time around. And what a run here. Patrick Gaspar making his way to the front of the field, but he's got a big gap to make up now. 1.6 second advantage for Baker on the restart. And we've got a caution flag. Caution flag will fly. I believe John Taylor. Big, oh my gosh, big mix up and mash up back here towards the tail end. The 6 involved, the 41, the 11. Tons of drivers caught up and involved in this latest on-track incident here tonight from Dover International Speedway. Lap number 50 on the board with 5 caution flags here tonight. Big time trouble for a lot of drivers. Let's see if we got this one queued up. Producers trying to find all of the action because there was quite a few involved in this latest one. I tell you what, let's go back. Once again, there you can see that 11. And there it is. Drivers loose in front. 41 with some contact. Here comes the 49, the 88. They'll pile in. Oh, Goebel. That 24. Hard impact with the inside safer barrier. Lots of drivers caught up in this one. Gimbal to pit road. Freeman to pit road. Urich, Hinshaw, and Whitaker. All drivers at the front of this field. Not involved in this incident, but coming to pit road. A little bit of strategy still in play early here tonight from Dover. So with quick successive cautions, Baker will put his tires through yet another heat cycle. And although he hasn't ran a lot of green flag laps on the tires that he does have, they are about, let's look at the actual count here to the driver behind him, Patrick Gaspar, last to pit road on lap number 41. Baker was on pit road at lap 34. So that's going to be right at about a 7-lap difference on the tires. But an extra heat cycle for the tires for the 26. And although you're not really abusing them with only a handful of laps of green flag racing on them, you're still taking some good out of them through each one of these heat cycles. We'll see how it plays out right here. Baker was able to just absolutely launch away from the field on our latest restart, our previous restart, and walk away with a big race advantage. But did you see the way that 86 was cutting through the corners? I mean, it was something. It was absolutely something to see the way that Gaspar was able to make up such a big gap there to, I believe moments ago it was, yes it was, the 81 of Jaden Gimbal that had the struggle, and Gaspar all but about ran him over coming through the corner exit off. And then right there again, your pole sitter, the driver that received an EOL penalty very early here tonight, right around, I want to say, lap 20 or so. Ryan Farrell has found a way back to the front. He'll restart inside row number 2 as race leader Matthew Baker elects to take the high side. We'll see how it plays off this time. Miles the Monster eating away here tonight at a lot of these International Virtual Racing League Pinkett Ford Cup Series drivers. Lots of drivers having some issues and troubles. We've had a handful of retirements. Jeff No will walk away from the track here with the final spot in the running order here tonight. It does look like the 60 of Nick Cannon also out of tonight's race. Billy Holcomb and Tommy Schaefer join the drivers in the junkyard. And here we go, back to the front. Wait for it, and on the gas, green flag flies. Baker, as the control car takes him deep in the restart box, and Gaspar, trying to anticipate an early jump, find himself in a little bit of trouble now, and whoa, we've got more drivers with trouble. Tyler Brown, I believe that is in that double O machine. He had a huge moment on the restart. He's able to corral the car and keep it headed in the right direction. We'll jump back to the front, though. These two drivers stepping away from the field. Ryan Farrell back in third. Baker being chased down by the Stage 1 winner, Adam Wood. Right there in his 45 Toyota Camry. Can Wood run him down? Can the Toyota beat the field that is absolutely dominated by Chevys here tonight? Ton of ZL1 Camaros in the field. We've got ourselves just two blue ovals out there, just two Ford Mustangs pounding the, well, I was going to say pounding the pavement, but cracking the concrete here tonight at Dover International Speedway. And one lone Toyota driver, and that is the man that walked away with Stage 1 win, running well here tonight, sitting in second, just about 2/10 off of Baker's rear bumper, but he's going to have some company because your pole sitter right there, Ryan Farrell, beginning to make his way to the front. We'll go on board here with Farrell, get you a little bit of a feel of how this track works its way. And oh, caution, going to fly here. Looks like the 76 of Charles Urich may have had some trouble, so let's jump back out of the car real fast. Let's see if we can't cue this one up. Let's see if we can't take a look at what has brought out our sixth caution of the evening. Let's go back to the 76. Charles Urich with trouble on lap number 57. There you can see up at the top of the speedway in contact between himself and the 71, and that's going to bring out the caution flag. Oh my gosh. Almost eating the rear end of that 71. We'll have to try to figure out who that was. I believe that may have been, it may have been the 41, I believe it was. Almost into the tail end of the 71. And still, this concrete track giving these drivers all sorts of fits here tonight. Lap number 60 won't go on the board this time around. We'll have just about 20 laps left in stage number 2, but we're going to break for a brief moment, pay a few bills. You know how that goes, race fans. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back live here from Dover International Speedway with all your green flag racing action. And back trackside, just as the pace car ducks off, we're ready to fire things off once again here in race number 11 for the IVRL Pinkett Ford Cup Series. Baker waiting to get on the gas, and green flag flies as he nails that loud pedal. Ryan Farrell, Adam Wood going to be left to go at it for second. It looks like Farrell will make short work of that 45 and move right to second. Look at the bottom of the racetrack. It's going to open up for the 45. It's going to be covered by Farrell. Now Farrell chomping at the bit to get back to your race lead. And there it is, moved to the inside just like that. Will he have the speed to get to the inside by turn one? Yes, he does. Side-by-side racing action now through turn number one, firing down the backstretch. We've got lap traffic just in front of the battle for the race lead as Farrell drops to the bottom of the speedway, and there it is, back to the point once again. Your pole sitter, your early race leader, the 43 of Ryan Farrell, takes the race lead here on lap number 64. Close battle back between Maxwell Castro and Patrick Gaspar, fourth and fifth on the track. How about the run through the field for that man? In the next level racing, 48 Chevy ZL1 Camaro Maxwell Castro up 21 positions here tonight. 21 spots in 65 laps. I mean, that's getting the job done here tonight from Dover International Speedway. Castro started all the way back in 25th and now inside of the top five, running well. Looks like he's got a fair amount of speed underneath the hood of his machine. And this bow tie dominated field here tonight from Dover International Speedway continues to produce some great racing action, some great battles, as now the 48 going to look to take yet another position away, look to break himself into a podium spot here. And really nobody breaking away at the front. We've seen Matthew Baker able to walk away with a fair amount of gap between himself and his fellow competitors over the course of the final few restarts that we had. But now this time, after battling with Farrell after the restart, neither Farrell or Baker has been able to step away. I mean, Adam Wood right here still running well, nose to tail with the 48 of Maxwell Castro. As these drivers, your top four, slowly separating themselves from the drivers behind. 86 of Patrick Gaspar running in fifth. Jim Ott right there, sixth. Wesley Jeanette in seventh, now 9 positions from where he started from. Tyler Gentry, Tyler Brown right there, nose to tail. John Freeman, last week's race winner, rounding out your top 10 here tonight from Dover International Speedway. Lap number 69 on the board. We got ourselves about 11-12 laps before the end of stage number 2. Then the long haul to the checkered flag. Who's going to walk away with the stage win? Farrell now opens up to a 0.3 of a second advantage over Baker, Wood, and Castro. This is your biggest battle on track right here. These three drivers mixing it up, and now Baker begins to assert himself. Begins to show that you don't need those fresh tires. You just got to get them in the right working environment. And right here, Baker began to step away, opened up a 0.2 of a second gap over Castro and Wood as those two drivers were battling for that third and fourth position. Now that Castro has cleared Wood, will he be able to get up there and take that second position away? Will the birthday boy spoil the show with a pit road strategy and walk away with a podium spot here at the end of stage number 2? We've still got ourselves about 7 or 8 laps, 8 to be exact, remaining here tonight in stage number 2. And nope, he's going to make short work of it with the lap car right there involved. And just like that, move Castro to second, man. What a run here tonight for Castro. How about the drive by this man and his auto owner's insurance? Number 4, Jim Ott, also up double digits. 21 positions to be exact. What a run through the field has this four had here tonight. Wesley Jeanette, also a driver making up a ton of ground, up 8 positions. Randy Henshaw, he's up 18 spots here tonight. Where's that 12? Let's go back here, take a look at the 12 machine. He's had some contact, he's got some damage, but fortunately enough for himself and his crew, damage not keeping him on pit road for very long. Henshaw still on the lead lap, running in 11th. And now we're seeing the gap really develop between that 43 of Ryan Farrell and the 48 of Maxwell Castro. Almost a 1 second advantage now back to Castro. Castro with about the same distance back to Baker. And that's where the battle's at. That's where the hot and heavy action is. Let's go back here. As Adam Wood starting to close back in on Baker right now, trying to retake that third position away. He's got Jim Ott slowly but surely reeling him in with 4 laps remaining here before the end of stage number 2. I'm not sure Ott's going to quite get there in time. There you can see him just off in the background, but the more these drivers go side by side, the easier it is going to be for that 4 to close in. High side will prevail off of turn number 4, and the 26 will keep that third position for now. And there it is, just like that. We told you Jim Ott was going to get there, and there he is. Already we got a 3-car tango right here. It's a trio going after third here. Who's going to take that third position to end stage number 2? Tyler Brown with a solid run here in stage number 2. The double O sitting back in the 6th position. Wesley Jeanette, Patrick Gaspar, Tyler Gentry, and John Freeman round out your top 10. And as this battle unfolds, give the man credit where credit is due. Off of turn number 4, back across the line. Lap number 80 now goes on the board. And we will see that stage break caution flag fly here momentarily. And just like that, right on cue once again, the Pinkett Ford caution flag flies once again here tonight to signify the end of stage number 2. It will be our 7th caution of the night, our 2nd stage break. This is going to be one heck of a finish here tonight. And what about the run for Farrell? I mean, what a great job from dealing with that end-of-line penalty, taking it in stride, just going ahead, dropping to the rear, doing what's got to be done, and then marching back through the field. What a run here tonight for him. He's got to be proud of the accomplishments, already taking both stage victories here tonight from Dover. And as all these drivers begin to make their way down the pit road, what do you say we jump up high above the track once again and get to something that we haven't really mentioned so far here tonight? I've been so caught up and involved in all of the other action going on here tonight. Haven't really had a chance and an opportunity to sit and talk about your championship standings coming into tonight's race. With 10 races in the bag, your championship standings are run down a little something like this. Jaden Gibble, top of the standings. He's ahead by 48. He's already locked in to the post-race playoffs. Nicholas Pressey right there sitting in second. Tommy Schaefer, Charles Jurek, Ryan Farrell rounding out the top 5. Randy Henshaw with a solid run so far here through the first 10 races. And look at the battle right there, 12th, 13th. You got Jim Ott, Nick Goebel going at it. Just 1 point separating those 2 drivers. Less than 10 points separating 3 drivers. 15th, 16th, 17th. Freeman, Ayrson, Henshaw, all battling right now. Long way to go here in the season. And a long way to make up a handful of points. There you can see Tyler Gentry, Wesley Jeanette battling right around that 24th, 25th position in the overall point standings. So, I mean, with a lot of ground still to go here before we even get into the playoffs, we're less than halfway through. In about 2 to 3 weeks, we'll be right around that halfway point in the regular season, so drivers can really start assessing the way their season has played out. In about 2 more weeks here is when we'll hit that halfway point in the regular season. So that's going to be a lot of measuring sticks. You know what I mean? We'll start to revisit some of the tracks for a second time later on this season. And drivers are going to have a little bit of a notebook built. Right now, nobody really knows what these cars are going to do. Nobody really knows exactly what setup they need to bring to the track to be fast. So as everybody begins to try to figure these cars out, begins to really settle into how these cars handle and act around the many different tracks that we go to in the International Virtual Racing League Pink and Forward Cup Series, look for these second races, these revisits to tracks, to be a real big key for a handful of drivers. And well, with stage number 2 in the book, what do you say we go back to the front with your race leaders? It looks like your top 3 drivers will elect to take the high side on the restart. So the man that was in 4th will now go inside front row. 45 of Adam Wood with a good shot to have a good restart and put himself in some clean air here. How about Jim Ott? He'll move up a handful of positions as well. Ott now inside the top 5 for one of the first times here this evening. 6 different race winners so far here in the 22 season for the International Virtual Racing League Pink and Forward Cup Series. 6 drivers locked into the playoffs already. Will we see another fresh face? I mean, we've got, let's see, out of your top 10, we have got 4 previous race winners. So some fresh faces at the front. Castro and Wood ready to fire things off here for the beginning of the final run to the end. We'll see how far we can go before our next caution flag. No more stage breaks. It's time to go racing to the end, race fans. Here we go, and green flag flies. Once again from Dover International Speedway, lap number 85 goes on the board. Castro with a good restart. That's going to leave Farrell and Wood battling for second position. We'll throw that timing and scoring down for you. There you go. You can follow along just like we do right here in the production booth, trying to keep track of your favorite driver as Adam Wood. Oh, the double O, big trouble. We caught it in the background. Tyler Brown, big trouble through the center of 3 and 4, and it looks like we may have had a little bit of a Larson loop. Let's go check out what happened to Brown. Oh, and a little bit of net code right there. You can see the 71 never touched that double O. Let's go back, take a look at it one more time. We will defend the driver in cases like this. Let's go back, check this replay here. You can see overhead camera shot here. 74 never actually touches him. Never touches him. There's a little bit of a buffer right there. And the double O, unfortunately, doesn't matter if he really touched him or not. The double O is going to pay the price, and he will go into the outside wall. And, well, that's going to put us under caution for the 8th time here this evening. We're going to step away from the track for just a brief moment, pay a handful of bills once again. You know how that goes, race fans. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back live from Dover International Speedway. trackside as drivers will cross the line. The choose line in effect here in the International Virtual Racing League Pinkett Ford Cup Series. An outside lane choice from your race leader. It has been the preferred lane. Everybody kind of on tap with what we were thinking here in the production booth, that outside lane really gives you an opportunity, really gives you an advantage to fire things off and get a good arc down into turn number 1 and set yourself up for a solid center of 1 and 2. Drivers trying to tackle the concrete monster here tonight, Dover International Speedway. But next on the list, the lady in black, the track too tough to tame. Darlington Raceway coming at you next Tuesday night, followed by Kansas the following week before we hit our first off week of the season. Nobody going to be off on this restart, waiting for it, and on the gas quick. Maxwell Castro tries to step away. But Farrell not letting him do it, not letting him go right here. Adam Wood with a good restart as well. 4th and 5th going at it, side by side. Freeman and Baker going at it for 4th and 5th on the racetrack. John Freeman will take the 4th position for the time being. Here comes the 26 back down to the bottom of the racetrack. Freeman stuck on that high side. I'm not sure that's where you want to be once you get up to speed and the engine comes to song. And just like that, things will sort themselves out towards the front of this field. Maxwell Castro leading Ryan Farrell by 0.3 of a second. Another 0.4 back to 5. Whoa! We've got some big moves. Uh-oh! 74 of Wesley Jeanette involved in a big hornet's nest right here. 81 of Jaden Gimble just to his outside. Patrick Gaspar closing in on the tail end of Jim Ott. That's going to be 11th and 12th on the speedway. As the 12 of Randy Henshaw seems like he's having a little bit of a struggle to keep the pace inside of that beaten batter 12. And oh, we've got contact. How did they, oh my gosh, how did they save it? Oh, and the 81 of Gimble not able to save his machine. He's going to go around. A little bit of a self-inflicted wound there for Gimble, and the caution flag will fly once again here tonight from Dover. Caution number 9 on the night, and let's see if we can go take a look. Let's see what happened here with that 81 of Jaden Gimble as he becomes the latest victim. Oh, there's the contact, and Gimble just self-spin right there. Just a self-spin. The contact happened underneath them. The 81 was clear of the contact, and the drivers behind them that looked like they were the most out of shape, they ended up driving away without any issues. The 81 of Jaden Gimble tries to correct the car and whoop, loops it and hits that outside wall. Let's go back with our onboard camera shot. Let's ride with that 81 of Gimble. There you can hear him trying to catch the car and save it. No, it's too late right there. Contact. Ugh, that's the contact that hurt right there. That second impact on the right front is where the big time damage come from for that 81. Tough break now for Gimble, and well, we'll jump back to the front of the field. Race leader Maxwell Castro back behind the pace car. The Next Level Racing sponsored driver looking to get to victory lane for the first time this season. Castro has not been to victory lane, has had some solid runs, but hasn't been able to put it all together and walk away in victory lane. Lap number 96 now on the board, just about to the halfway point of tonight's race. And as we reach the halfway point, why don't we do a little bit of house cleaning, a little cleanup here tonight from Dover International Speedway. 30 drivers took to the starting grid here tonight. We have still got 18 drivers out there on the track, turning in some time lapse. Multiple drivers on pit road still trying to fix up their machines. Darling still down there trying to make the best of his night, but I believe it's pretty much all said and done for him as he is well off of the lead lap, at least about, I would say, 50-60 laps down for that 75. He's going to be hard-pressed to gain any positions here tonight, even if he's able to get that 75 Chevy ZL1 Camaro back out on the track. So unfortunately for Jaden, he's going to walk away with minimal points here tonight from Dover in race number 11. Some big hitters. How about Charles Urich, that 76 machine? He's been a fast driver week in, week out. He has some trouble, and his night is done. The 76 will finish outside of your top 20. Eric Hegdahl, the 70, he's down multiple laps, but Hegdahl continuing his race here tonight, rolling back off of pit road and getting back up to speed. 22 laps down is Hegdahl. Nathan Line also multiple laps down here tonight. Line rejoins the racetrack back in 19th. And with the 18 drivers on track, I mean, 14 of them are left on the lead lap, so still a large field left on the lead lap to figure things out over the final 105 laps or so, 104 laps when we get back. Green flag racing this time around. And Castro again goes to that high side. I'm telling you, that's where you want to be on the restarts. We've said it all night long, and it's continuing to show here tonight from Dover International Speedway. And Miles, well, he's had an all-you-can-eat buffet right now. Henshaw, Urich, Whitaker, Holcomb, Schaefer, Cannon, Ayrson, No, and Darling, all out of tonight's race. All those drivers had damage and trouble, and the crew chiefs calling a night and pulling the cars back behind pit wall. And well, iRacing pace car ducks off. We'll get ready to fire things off once again here to the restart box, and on the gas. Green flag flies once again from the Monster Mile. These drivers going to try to get around the concrete surface. As you can see, a lot of rubber beginning to get laid down here. This dynamic track, Dover International Speedway, really taking some rubber. Even though we haven't seen an extended green flag run, we haven't seen an extensive amount of green flag runs, meaning we haven't got that green flag pit cycle in just yet here tonight from Dover. And I mean, drivers, it seems to be about 3 sets of tires used, so everybody still got 2 more sets in the pit box. When will they utilize them over these final 100 laps here? Looking to the inside, looking for that top spot once again is Ryan Farrell. Maxwell Castro trying to hold them off, both of the drivers. The pit road back on lap number 81. They stay side by side through 1 and 2. Farrell at the bottom, Castro at the top. Little bit of a wiggle from that 48. He keeps it out of the inside, out of the outside wall. And we stay side by side through 3 and 4, coming right at you back. Oh, contact! Contact! Ryan Farrell goes to the inside wall. We seen it happen right before our eyes. Ryan Farrell, contact with the 48. Let's go back. There it is. There's a, oh my gosh, that's pounding the inside wall. That wasn't just a little lick right there. Ryan Farrell absolutely pounding that inside wall. He's going to have a tough go at it here. I believe he's going to be a little bit off in the horsepower department. And tough break for one of your fastest drivers in the field here tonight. The 43 walked away with the pole position, walked away with both the stage 1 and the stage 2 win here tonight. Now trouble on lap number 102 finds Ryan Farrell heading towards the tail end of the lead lap, and he will bring his machine to pit road. So We'll jump back live at the front of the field with your race leader, Maxwell Castro, once again, as he leads the parade of drivers back behind that iRacing pace car. Well, race fans, we've got ourselves a little bit of a rough go here tonight at Dover International Speedway. The concrete surface giving some of these drivers an absolute fit here tonight. We find ourselves under caution for the 10th time here tonight in the International Virtual Racing League Pinkett Ford Cup Series. Looking at Jaden Gimble, who is still down there on pit road. Whoa, no, we stand corrected. He's making his way off of pit road right now as the pace car makes his way to the front stretch. Chad Hitchcock also pulling that 22 machine from pit road. And it looks like the damage has been terminal for the 43. Ryan Farrell will push his Camaro back behind pit wall. The dominating fast man here in the field with trouble late after the 100 lap mark, and Ryan Farrell will finish tonight's race outside of your top 15, right now listed in 14th, but we have a handful of drivers that may be able to bump past him if they're able to complete the rest of the laps in tonight's race. So a tough break for a very fast 43 here tonight. Ryan Farrell ends his night at Dover, and there you can see a penalty being laid down. The 48 will head to the rear of the field. Maxwell Castro with a penalty falls back through the running order, and that's going to leave Adam Wood. It is a lime green Monster Energy machine at the front. He will be the first driver to choose top or bottom, inside or outside lane, and a little bit of playing some games here. 45, I was going to say, interesting to see him choose that inside lane. Most of the drivers have kept it at the high side, trying to trick a handful of drivers down there behind him to maybe go with him on the bottom. And then jumping right to the top at the choose line, the 45 takes that outside lane, gaining a handful of positions. Is that 7 Cub Cadet machine of Tyler Gentry. We haven't really spoke of Gentry very often here tonight. Been kind of a quiet night for the driver inside of that 7 machine, up 9 positions. So still a good run so far here tonight for Gentry. And now he's got his shot, his claim to fame coming this time around as drivers make their way back through 3 and 4. Oh, and it looks like we're gonna have ourselves one more lap. Doesn't look like the field was set and ready to go. We're hearing a water bottle on the back stretch is the cause for this extended lap here. We'll put one more lap on the fuel cell before we head back. Green flag racing. There you see iRacing pace car lights go back off, so we will fire things back off this time around with less than 100 to go, right at about 94 laps remaining in tonight's race here from Dover International Speedway. 200 laps in the scheduled distance. We've seen stage 1 end at lap number 40, stage 2 in that lap number 80. And the driver that took the top spot in both of those stages also walked away with the pole position here tonight, but unfortunately caught up and involved in an on-track incident, and his day is done. Ryan Farrell now will just try to hang on to a handful of spots here, maybe possibly losing 3 or 4 positions before the end of tonight's race, and he will finish outside of your top 15. Pace car out the way and on our way. Green flag flies once again. Adam Wood gets on the gas and walks away from the field. Half a second advantage by the time he gets to turn 1. Baker will grab that second spot away from Tyler Gentry, the 7 Cup Cadet machine down on the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Patrick Gaspar, the 86, looking to get back to the front. John Freeman right there as well. 74 of Wesley Jeanette. Now running in 6th position, Nicholas Pressey. We haven't talked about Pressey very much here tonight. The 94 Ford Mustang sitting back in the 7th position. Jim Ott right there in 8th. Jaden Gibble and Randy Hinshaw rounding out your top 10. Big gap developing at the front of this field. Adam Wood absolutely stepping away, and he will turn in the fastest lap of the race this time around. A 22.74 laid down for the oh boy. Wow, that's going to be hard impact for the 42, hard impact for the 7 as well. And we've got ourselves the 11th caution of the night. John Freeman, Tyler Gentry, Nick Coble all catching a piece of this latest action to bring us under caution once again. We'll stay with the front of this field with your race leader for just a moment. I'll tell you what, race fans, we're going to step away for a brief commercial break, but you won't miss any of the action as we go side by side.
got big time problems with that motor, buddy. Hey, just between you and me, the idea is to avoid the other cars. Congratulations! You just set the sport back 30 years with that move. That move will put you in the Hall of Shame. You keep doing stuff like that and we're gonna lose our sponsor. Looks like that's it for us today. Now I know why you got canned by your old team. It's over. We can't fix that damage.
Looks like your car is toast. You'll need a tow back to pit lane. Press and hold your reset button and we'll come and get you.
Begin as that iRacing pace car ducks off. We'll rejoin the track back with your race leader, your control car up at the top of the speedway. And here we go once again. Green flag flies. 45 gets off to a good restart. Baker with a good run as well. Patrick Gaspar into that third position with a fair amount of ease. Big gap back to Jaden Gimbel. This is where the hot and heavy battle's at right here. Gimbel, Pressey, Hinshaw, Jeanette, Castro all going at it. Fourth all the way back through ninth. Everybody fighting, everybody jockeying for position here around this 1 mile concrete oval. A lot of drivers, you can see all of the damage up and down the sides of these machines. Even that 12 HMG Innovations machine of Randy Hinshaw, who's going to take that fifth spot away from Nicholas Pressey and open up the door for the 48 of Maxwell Castro. Even the 12 with some damage. The 48 of Castro does have a little bit of damage on his machine. Not a ton, but a little bit of contact, a little bit of marks on the right side of his machine. So nobody really clean and clear here tonight, except for a handful of drivers at the front of this field. Let's jump back here with Matthew Baker running in that second position. We're going to focus right here for just a moment because, well, it's his birthday. What better way to celebrate your birthday than on the track, laying down some fast laps. Check out that 26 looking sharp here tonight at Dover International Speedway. Running in second, he led a handful of laps, now trying to chase back down your race leader at the front. Adam Wood walking out to a 3/4 of a second advantage over Baker as Baker leads Gaspar. Good run so far here tonight for the birthday boy. Matthew Baker has been inside of the top 5 for a vast majority of the night here. Baker looking to get back to the top spot as we start to see a little bit of separation at the front of this field. Adam Wood opening up almost a 1 second advantage now. Let's go back to the hot battle on track right here with that 74 and the 4 of Jim Hunt. They're both closing in on the 12 of Randy Hinshaw. That's going to be 6th, 7th, 8th on the speedway, going at it here very shortly. Nicholas Pressey, the 94, has lost some ground, has lost some time. And I mean, not much of a wonder. Let's take a look right here. It looks like A lot of damage on that 94 for Pressy, so he's going to be fighting the handling on his machine for the rest of the night. How about John Freeman, last week's race winner? No front clip, out there modified style on the track, just trying to get what he can get there. You can see the 6th machine of Matthew Montgomery making some good headway here, some good speed in that machine, although the Best Buy number 6 has a lot of damage and is well off of the lead lap. Sitting back in the 21st position, 53 laps down here tonight is that 6 of Matthew Montgomery, but still trying to persevere and gain anything that he can. He can possibly jump 3 to 4 more drivers in this field, trying to make up some ground if he can. We'll see how the rest of the night plays out here for him as we've got ourselves about 76 laps to go. We've got a battle right here. Jeanette, Ott, and Henshaw going at it. Both Jeanette and Ott able to get by Randy Henshaw, so the damage on the side of that 12 machine is coming into factor and coming into play. And Jeanette gonna move into 6th and set his sights on the tail end of the 81 of Jaden Gimble. Gimble rounding out your top 5, but extensive damage on his machine here tonight. Gimble has been caught out and bit by the contact bug here tonight from Dover International Speedway, and Miles the Monster just chomping at the bit to eat a handful more drivers' hopes and dreams, shattering a lot of fantasy point brackets here tonight with a lot of carnage here from Dover International Speedway. Drivers side by side off in turn number 4. Gimble, Jeanette going at it for 5th, and Jim Ott just kind of waiting in the wings right here, seeing what's happened. Let's see how it all plays out, and look at that run through the corner. Great maneuver right there. Backed off of the gas early, backed this corner entry up, was able to turn his 74 machine down underneath the 81 of Gimble on corner exit, and look for that 5th position. Now Gimble going to come under fire from Jim Ott. Will Randy Henshaw get there and trying to take that position away as well? And Ott not quite clear just yet, and that's going to hold him up just a little bit. There you can see Wesley Jeanette able to step away from Jim Ott. And now the 12 of, whoa, Randy Henshaw gets by, but almost gets into the outside wall. Patrick Gaspar coming to pit road this time around. Was that a scheduled stop? We'll keep our eyes on the stopwatch, and we'll keep our eyes on the battles. Let's jump back here with the 11 of Quentin Stewart, Tyler Gentry going at it, 10th and 11th on the racetrack. Both of these drivers still on the lead lap. The 20, I believe that is the 22. Yes, it is the 22 machine, down multiple laps here tonight. A tough run for him as he's just trying to make what he can. No contact with the outside wall for the 6. Montgomery into the outside wall, bangs it off of the outside wall, pancakes it, but keeps it headed in the right direction to FX number 11. Trying to gain some positions. Quentin Stewart right there in 9th, looking for more. He's got Chad Hitchcock right there in front of him. And how about a turn of events for from the manufacturer standpoint here tonight, race fans, huh? We seen earlier in tonight's race, those Fords were really struggling to get themselves up through the running order and up through the field. And here we go with about the final 75 or so laps. The 2 blue ovals have found their way inside of the top 10. Pressy sitting in 7th. Hitchcock right there, the 22, loses a spot but falls back only to 9th. As Tyler Gentry will look to take that position away, and Chad Hitchcock, not much he can do about fighting that move right there for the time being. He'll give that 9th position away and put Hitchcock into 10th. Back across the line once again, Tyler Gentry trying to run down Quentin Stewart. We'll jump around the track to a few of the battles when we begin to see them unfold and take place. Let's get back up here though. How about the battle for the race lead? Maxwell Castro slowly closing in. And as we were watching the battle sneaky onto pit road, we talked about the 86 of Patrick Gaspar coming to pit road. But the driver that was sitting in second came to pit road without us really catching on there. How about that? Matthew Baker comes down to pit road on lap 138. Look for him to run this thing to the end. I believe this fuel tank will take all of these drivers to the end, as now Adam Wood will give up the top spot to Castro to head to pit road for what could be his final stop of tonight's race, the 48. Back to the point. How long will the 48 stay out on track? How long is he willing to give up some time? Much fresher tires on the drivers rejoining the track, but Castro, he's no slouch. He was last on to pit road at lap 111, so although he's got about a 20-plus lap deficit on the fuel and tires, he's still got a pretty good-looking chance to run this thing for quite some time and possibly wait out a caution flag here tonight. We'll have to see what the next level racing driver does. Wesley Jeanette 6 seconds back, running in second. Jim Mott all over him right now. Jaden Gimbel going at it with the 12 of Randy Henshaw. Let's go take a look at this battle. Gimbel was able to catch Henshaw and make the pass. How long will these drivers stay out on track as well? We're down to now just 7 drivers left on the lead lap. Tyler Gentry rounding out the drivers on the lead lap. Maxwell Castro really shaking things up by staying out on a long run here, extending the time before he comes to pit road. I mean, it wasn't long ago he was on pit road. Right now, looking at about 30 laps ago, and 30 laps at Dover, not really that big. I mean, a ton of difference in fresh tires, but at the end of this thing, he's going to have much fresher tires than the drivers that are going to be out there. So look for him to make up a ton of time towards the end of tonight's race. Will it be the winning strategy? I don't know. We'll have to find out. We've got ourselves about 54 laps to go here tonight from Dover. Well, they say we don't talk about Bruno, but they don't say not talking about Castro. What a race here tonight for the driver of that next level 48 machine, Maxwell Castro, since gaining the top spot. He's been a threat ever since. He never really dropped back outside of the top 5, even through these the stage break in through some of the caution flags here tonight. Castro found himself a little bit behind the 8 ball, but has played the strategy right, has played the choose line right. And the game now belongs to him. Ball in his court. What will he do? Big advantage for him, so he's got some time to play with here. He can probably save a little bit of fuel with a 7.8 second advantage over your nearest competitor, Jim Ott, who is no slouch by any means. That's some time to work with. That's some time to play with. That's over a third of the lap difference right there. So Castro building that gap, building that advantage. You can see back in the distance, Adam Wood trying to make his way up through the field and get himself back on the lead lap, or at least one of his laps back, after making what should be his final pit stop of the race back on lap 138. Adam Wood beginning to stalk his prey, beginning to close back in on that race leader. If Castro can keep Wood behind him until he comes to pit lane, that's going to serve well for him and his opportunity to walk away with the race win. If you can keep one of the fastest drivers trapped, well, that's what you want to do, and sometimes that's the strategy you play. And we'll see how it plays out over the course of the final 48 laps here tonight from Dover International Speedway. Next week, heading to Darlington Raceway at Darlington on our mind. We'll have to wait to see what kind of throwback scheme these drivers put together for race number 12 at the track Too Tough to Tame Darlington Raceway, coming at you next week. And if you haven't already, race fans, drop these drivers that thumbs up. Show them a little bit of love and appreciation with what they get and bring to you each and every week here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. While you're at it, join us in that push to 3,000 subscribers. Drop these drivers that thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash the bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters, we do appreciate each and every one of you each and every time you stop by. Whether you're just sliding through to say hey, or you are one of the dedicated fans, friends, family, maybe even one of the many sponsors across the multiple different leagues and series here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, we do appreciate each and every one of you. Without you, there would be no us. So once again, show these drivers some love and drop them that thumbs up. And with extending this run right here, what Castro has been able to do is put himself in a good position. I mean, Tyler Gentry, he's still got to come to pit road. Chad Hitchcock, he has still got to come to pit road. So with those two drivers just one lap down, really the only one he's got to worry about right now, as the 12 of Randy Henshaw and the 7 of Tyler Gentry both going to come to pit road, and now the 48 says that's enough. He's going to pull the pit lane this time around. Adam Wood was able to get one of his multiple laps back, but unable to get on the lead lap just yet. And there you go, at Castro, Ott, Jeanette, all the pit lane. What will that do? Oh, the 22 misses pit lane. Blowing the entry to pit road is that 22 of Chad Hitchcock. Tough break there for Hitchcock. He's going to have a long way to go to get back around and come down pit lane. Tough break for him and his crew. And we'll jump back out here with Adam Wood, who maybe, just maybe, take that top spot. watching it all unfold, and Adam Wood goes to the point with a 4.5 second advantage, coming to pit road right about, it looks to be about 20 laps sooner than the rest of his fellow competitors. That's going to open up a big gap from Wood back to Castro, who is now back up to speed, but with much fresher tires. It's definitely going to be an advantage for him. Patrick Gaspar looks like he's bringing the 86 machine down to pit road. What went wrong with Gaspar? And with Gaspar coming to pit road, that's going to leave us with just 7 drivers left on the lead lap here tonight from Dover International Speedway. Lap 161 now goes on the board. So race fans, we have less than 40 to go here tonight at Dover International Speedway. Drivers have been laying down the rubber all night long here at the Concrete Monster Mile, and just unfortunately, Miles winning the battle on a handful of them. Had 30 drivers take to the starting grid. We've still got 15 out there on the track turning in time laps, with just 7 left on the lead lap. And Nicholas Pressey, he's going to be in danger of falling off the lead lap here very shortly, not too much further out front of Adam Wood right here. I tell you what, let's see if we can't find a battle. What do you say? Let's go back here with this battle between Chad Hitchcock and Randy Henshaw. Henshaw listed off of the lead lap, so is Chad Hitchcock. So these two drivers fighting for the first driver to be 2 laps down here. Hot and heavy battle for 9th and 10th on the racetrack. The 12 looks like he has a little bit of a struggle right there through 1 and 2. Oh boy, and the 22 all but goes around, and that's gonna be it. Caution flag will fly, and the 22 of Chad Hitchcock comes to rest on that inside safer barrier. And well, what do you do now? I need my Larry Mack on what we do here and what the race trends say, because I'm willing to bet with 35 laps remaining, I think, even though we've seen multiple drivers coming to pit road about, what is it, maybe 10 laps ago, we may see about a half and half mixture here. We may see your top 2 or 3 drivers, maybe even 4 or 5 drivers, stay out on the track. And no, how about that? They're all going to prove me wrong. Everybody except Wesley Jeanette comes to pit road. See, just when you think you know, you have no idea. The crew chief's calling an audible, and it looks like only one driver willing to risk it for the biscuit here tonight. He was last on to pit road on lap 157, so right at about an 8-lap mark on those tires for Jeanette. He should fare rather well with the clean air on his nose. Look for him to fire off on the restart here. Look for him to try to, I would say, take the high line. And have we seen a strategy play here tonight, race fans? Looks like the 4 of Jim Hunt, although he came to pit road here under this latest caution, doesn't look like he took 4 tires, doesn't look like he even took 2, looks like he just topped off on fuel. So the 4 auto owners insurance machine will restart the race on some older tires. I believe he was on the pit road with Wesley Jeanette back on lap 57, so tires for Ott just going to be about 10 laps or so older than the drivers are racing around him. And now this is where those 5 extra sets of tires really come into factor, really come into play. As we know, multiple drivers took at least 2 sets of tires at the end of Stage 1 and at the end of Stage 2, but how have they utilized those 3 other sets here tonight? Does anybody still have tires in their pit box that they may be willing to come down and get should we get a late race caution? I would say by about in about another 10 to 15 laps. If we get another quick caution in about 10 to 15 laps, look for maybe a driver or 2 to head to pit road to catch that last round of fresh Goodyear rubber. But also, I mean, when is that cutoff going to be? I mean, when do you call it quits? When is it worth not coming to pit road anymore, even though you've got those fresh tires? I know the situation changes when the car count changes, when the drivers on the lead lap change. And tonight, running down to the final 30 laps or so here tonight, we got ourselves a whittled down field. Less than half of what started tonight's race is still out there on the track. 14 drivers still on the track, but only 7 of them left on the lead lap. And here we go, Jeanette on the gas and green flag flies. Once again from Dover International Speedway. 74 of Jeanette down on the bottom. The 4 of Jim Hunt trying to make some pace. But those older tires going to be no match for the 45 of Adam Wood. The Toyota Camry, the only Camry in the field, riding solo here tonight. Can he put that lime green Monster Energy machine into victory lane and take the checkered flag for the first time this season? Jeanette has already been to victory lane once this year. Will he make it a repeat performance? Can he get back to victory lane? How about the man sitting in third? Maximo Castro has been very fast over the over the past, I would say, 60 laps or so. Very fast in that next level racing 48 machine. But the birthday boy, I mean, you gotta want him to win. I mean, it's his birthday. Baker right here battling with Jim Hunt, 4th and 5th on the track, as Jim Hunt really struggling to keep the pace with the drivers that took fresh tires. And just like that, Baker will take that 4th position away from Jim Hunt, as now Hegdahl getting by John Freeman for the 15th position. See, there's still battles going on back there near the tail end of the... Oh, boy, Baker, save it! Wow! Oh, and there it is. There's the contact and finally going around. My goodness. He almost had that thing. Almost had that thing saved. And now multiple contact with the wall. Let's go back. Let's check this latest replay. Getting loose and then playing Drift King down the backstretch. A little bit of contact with the outside wall, and then it was enough to catch him and spin him on around the 26 of Matthew Baker. Brings out our latest caution of the evening, so we'll jump back up front and watch Baker close in with your race leader, Wesley Jeanette, at the front of the field. And there's Jim Hunt, Jaden Gimble, Nicholas Pressey. They all come to pit road as we move in on just 25 to go. Oh, and Wesley Jeanette pulls the pit road. Jeanette pulls from the race lead to pit road late in the going here. Oh my goodness, this could be big. This could be big. That's going to hand over the race lead to the man inside of the only Toyota in the field here tonight. The Monster Energy 45 of Adam Wood takes the top spot. With a move to pit road here with just 2 laps to go before we go back, green flag racing, the 74 of Wesley Jeanette comes down pit road to get his fresh Goodyear tires. And we will fire this thing back off with less than 25 laps to go. Will it be enough time for Jeanette to get back up through the field? I mean, he should restart somewhere around that 4th, 5th position, so he may be able to do it. It may work out for him. Those fresh tires. Jim Ott also coming to pit road and getting 4 fresh tires. So now the advantage to the drivers in that second row, or what could be the second row. Choose line coming to effect this time around as the field will receive the 1 to go. Well, race fans, it's all going to come down to this final 25 laps in tonight's race here from Dover International Speedway. The iRacing pace car lights are off, and we are set to kick things off. Once again, the final run down to the checkered flag. Drivers jockeying for their starting positions on that outside lane. That's going to be a tough little mix, and they get it all sorted out before we go back. Green flag racing. Pace car down in the Wayfield in the hands of the 45. Jim Ott lines up to the inside with those fresh tires. And on the gas, the 4 almost jumped that start, had to get back out of the gas, and that's going to check up the field behind him. As the 45 utilizes that to his advantage, he steps out to a bit of a race lead. 5-6 car links out in front. Jim Ott down on the bottom of the racetrack, not able to get by Castro, who keeps it wound up on the high side. Big battle right here, though. This is where the action is at. Jeanette, Gimbel, Pressey, Baker all going at it. 2 out of those 4 drivers named have already been to victory lane. Gimbel on the back end of the 74 of Jeanette. Both of those drivers have visited victory lane. Here comes that 94 of Pressey looking to gain a position. Big wiggle from Pressey on the bottom. Baker gonna stack up right behind him. Fastest lap of the race turned in last time around for Maxwell Castro. He's going to take the fastest lap away from tonight's race, a 22:69 in race trim. That's absolutely getting it here. And your drivers at the front, well, they've begun to separate themselves, really. Watching this battle right here with Jeanette and Gimbel for a moment, as the gap at the front of this field still at 0.3 of a second. Let's go back now. Let's go check this battle out. Castro starting to reel Wood in, as both of these drivers have about a 1 second advantage over Jim Ott, the Auto Owners Insurance number 4, struggling just a little bit, but Ott, he's well and clear. He's in no man's land right now, about 1.2 seconds to the drivers in front, 1.6 seconds to the drivers behind. So a man kind of on an island right now is that Auto Insurance number 4 machine. Next level racing, 48 to the bottom of the racetrack, looking for the inside line now on Wood, and Castro puts it back to the point with 19 to go. And well, Mom, let's give the man a little bit of TV time then. What do you say here? Hopefully we don't curse him with that unique broadcaster curse. Sometimes when we get transfixed on one driver for a little bit too long or caught up with one driver, we tend to see that driver in some trouble here. But Baker, with a good run tonight, he's had a ton of speed inside of that 26, has led a handful of laps. Whoa, big time loose off of turn number 4. That's going to open up the door for the 41. Down multiple laps here. All over the tail end of the 26 is the 41. Can Baker make a handful of passes here late in the going? 16 laps remaining here tonight from Dover International Speedway. Baker sitting outside of the top 5 right now. The birthday boy trying to get back into a top 5, trying to get back to a podium, and maybe even park that thing in victory lane. But first, let's go to the battle raging on just in front of Baker. Let's move up right here. There you can see just one position in front. Jaden Gimbel, Nicholas Pressey going at it just about 0.2 of a second out in front of Matthew Baker. You'll see Baker make his way off of 2. So 2 positions in some close proximity for Baker if he can keep the car underneath him. And I tell you what, race fans, let's go now back to the front of this field. The Next Level Racing sponsored 48 machine down on the bottom of the racetrack is Chevy ZL1. Camaro looking fast here in the late going. Adam Wood looks like he may be losing a little bit of ground now. Looks like these longer runs are beginning to work into favor of that 48 of Castro. Both of these drivers on to pit road at lap 165, so no advantage on the tires besides who was able to keep them a little bit fresher through the course of these final few heat cycles we've had here tonight. And well, final little bit of house cleaning here tonight. We've got ourselves a 30-car field making their way to race number 11 trackside here at Dover International Speedway. The concrete jungle has absolutely been that for a handful of drivers. A tough go, a tough run at it as we are down to just 12 drivers left on the track with just a handful on the lead lap. 7 drivers left on the lead lap out of the 30-car field here tonight. The point standings definitely going to get mixed up after this one. And will we see another first-time winner into victory lane and punch their ticket to the postseason? All 3 drivers in those podium spots are non-race winners. They will be a first-time race winner if they can get to victory lane. And here comes Jim Ott. Long run speed seems to be where that 4 is better here tonight as he closes right in on the rear of that 45 of Adam Wood. And are we seeing now those fresher tires come into factor, come into play? We've got 10 laps left to go here tonight. Can Jim Ott make up not just 1, but 2 positions to park it in victory lane for the first time this season? We'll watch how it all unfolds from the high concrete banks here at Dover International Speedway. Not a lot else going on track right now. We'll take a look back once again at the battle raging on around that 5th and 6th position. Let's go back right here. Nicholas Pressey trying to close back in on Jaden Gimbel. You can see the 41 machine making his way by. Down a handful of laps is that 41. About 5 laps down to be exact. Rounding out your top 10. Still looking for a solid night and a solid run if you can. The 22 of Chad Hitchcock comes to pit road this time around, so Hitchcock will fall multiple laps down here late in the going with just 5 laps to go this time around. Does anybody have anything for your race leader? Jim Ott needs to make up 1.4 seconds, and last time around he was right at about 2/10 faster on the stopwatch, so it's going to get close. At the end will lap traffic come into play. Race leader making his way by that 77. I believe that's the 77 of John Tiller. Yes, it was Tiller sitting back in the 11th position. And Chad Hitchcock, he's on pit road for an extended stay here. He's going to fall through the running order, fall multiple laps down here in the final 5 laps of tonight's race. We've got 4 to go this time around. Everybody chasing after Castro, and not being able to close in at all right now. That gap still 1.4. Three laps to go as race leader Maxwell Castro crosses the line. Jim Ott with a slip up in 1 and 2. That's going to give a little bit of time back to Castro. We're coming off of 4. We're going to grab the popsicle sticks. This time by, that's going to be 2 to go here from Dover. Everybody chasing after Castro. We've seen him stay out multiple times on older tires, and he is going to get the job done off of turn number 4, coming to the white flag. And there it is. White flag flies. Final lap. The HMG IVRL Pinkett Ford, 1 to go, flies here tonight. The white flag flies at Dover International Speedway down into turn 3 for the final time. He's got 1 more corner to go. Off of 4 and back to the line. Checkered flag flies here tonight. Maxwell Castro will take the top spot and etch his name into the winner column. Job well done there by Castro, as he walks away with his first win of the season. Jim Ott with a good finish. He'll walk away from the track back in second. And how about Adam Wood, the one and only Toyota driver in the field, and he will park that thing in a podium position. Job well done here tonight. And now the smoke show begins on the front stretch. Acrobatic donuts by that 48. Castro enjoying himself here tonight, burning it down on the front stretch for the fans in the stands. Sold out packed house once again here for the International Virtual Racing League's Pinkett Ford Cup Series. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We're going to step away for a commercial break, get things set up and ready to go for your post-race interview, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And we jump trackside once again here tonight from Dover International Speedway. Checkered flag has flown on race number 11. What a night it was here tonight. Man, crazy racing action. We've had an opportunity to catch up with one of our drivers walking away in a podium position here tonight. I tell you what, let's see if we can go have a word with the driver that walked away leading a handful of laps, but finishes tonight's race in third. Let's see if we can dial up and have a word with the driver inside of his 45 machine. Adam Wood, it's Dave of the booth. You got me, bud?
I got you, man. How's it going?
Going pretty good. How about yourself, my man? A little bit of a rough go out there tonight on track for a handful of drivers, but you being the only Toyota driver in the field, representing well, my man, walking away with a podium. You got to be somewhat happy with the finish, huh?
I mean, I am, but I'm not. I'm watching the replay right now, and we were in a pit cycle. I got below the number 11, drive down the front straightaway, and he got loose and hit me. Luckily, I saved it. I have no clue how I did it, but I was able to recover. But that damage just destroyed the front end of my car for the drive into the corner and drive off. In that last little stint, when I got up front in that clean air, 1 and 2, the car just wanted to loop around on me. I had to give up time, and that's when Castro was able to just reel me in and call it a night there. That my night went to crap after that.
Well, not to poke fun at anybody with trouble here tonight, but a lot of drivers, it went bad for them a lot sooner and a lot earlier. It's the concrete jungle. It's tough, man. They don't call it the Monster Mile for nothing. But looking forward though, with tonight's race going down here tonight, and then we head to the track Too Tough to Tame next week. What's your thoughts moving towards Darlington next week? What do you think we're going to have under the lights there at Darlington?
I mean, Darlington, it's not similar to this, but it is. Like 3 and 4 kind of has a swooping corner. That's your passing corner. Your high-speed corners are 1 and 2. You don't really want to try and pass unless you really have to. It's going to be hard. I have not tried it in these new Gen 7s yet, so it's going to be a handful. I guarantee it for us. I mean, Dover was a handful for us. Darlington's going to present a heck of a challenge because, I mean, it liked you really yanking on the steering wheel in the Gen 6 is going into turn 1 to make it rotate for the turn 2. So I think we're going to see a little bit of chaos right there. I think 3 and 4 is going to be okay. Because it's just a slow, methodical corner where you're trying to be slow in, fast out, and you're setting up your passes there coming out of turn 2. So it's going to be tricky for us. I mean, we've always seen some competition field races at Darlington, and I don't think this year is going to be any different.
Absolutely. Well, Adam, you were so close to putting that 45 where it needed to be and breaking into the winner column, man. We hope next week at Darlington we can catch up with you in post-race interviews again, maybe 2 spots ahead of where you finished here tonight. But tonight's race, it's going to help you out in the point standings. You came in final driver inside of the top 10 of the point standing, so a good shot in the arm here with another podium finish for you and your 45 crew. So before we let you go and enjoy the rest of the night, Adam, would you like to give any final shout outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody back home or at the shop?
I think my team's Steel Horse Racing. I'm the only member here running in this league, but I mean they back me left and right. Give me tips. We run a couple practice sessions prior and a couple races prior to it. So these guys help me out, and I want to give a thanks to Cody and Joey up there. They're out here every Tuesday night being the admins in there. It's not easy with this league. A lot of drama going on. So I want to give them thanks. I want to give you thanks, man. I'm a broadcaster myself. I know how this world works. I appreciate you coming out here and giving your time for a wonderful almost 11 o'clock send off here on Tuesday night.
Well, every night's a good night in the production booth. You got to make the best of it, just like you drivers make the best of some bad situations. You get into some tough troubles, and your car's maybe not working as good anymore, and you persevere and you push through it, and you get to the end, and sometimes you walk away with a really good finish, and sometimes you end up in 43rd, but that's just the nature of the beast and how things go. Adam, I know the admins will appreciate the kind words. We definitely appreciate the kind words. And until next time, Amanda, stay fast and keep it safe.
Good night.
All right, there you go. Final few words from that 45 of Adam Wood. Great run here tonight from the driver out of Rockfish, North Carolina. As you heard him say, the single steel horse racing driver in the field, in the league, and in the series. And I think he may be the only Toyota driver in the entire league as well. We'll have to see whether or not he can get that Camry back to a podium finish here next week at Darlington Raceway. And well, that's going to move us right along in the running order. Jim Ott walked away with second here tonight. Jim, unfortunately, unable to get to post-race interviews, has some prior sponsor obligations to fill, so that's going to move us right along with the driver that finished at the top of the board. Let's see if we can catch up and have a few words with the man inside of that 48 machine. Castro, it's Dave. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man. Victory lane for the first time. That has got to feel good.
Oh, absolutely, man. What a phenomenal race. First off, I just want to get this out of the way. I want to apologize to the number 43. We were racing really hard for the lead, and it was just one of those deals where we were racing really hard, and I got a little bit sideways off turn 4. I came down half a lane, and he was there, and it sent him into the inside wall. So big apologies out to the number 43 of Ryan.
Well, Max, it takes a big man to come in and before even enjoying the sweet victory of the checkered flag to come out and apologize for some on-track altercation. It takes a big man to meet that head on. So I know the multiple other drivers in the series should really appreciate that. But yeah, again, congratulations on the great win here tonight. Let's talk about some of your strategy, though, because you seem to keep your car out there on the track at different times throughout tonight's race on older tires and really make them work. How were you able to keep the speed on those older tires?
I'm a huge fan of Dover, and I like to save tire all the time, so I was just kind of taking it easy all the time and only pushing when I needed to pass somebody. So I was able to save those tires, just taking it easy and just running my own race, making everybody else is pushing, wearing their stuff out. I'm just kind of just doing my own thing while they're doing that. So it worked out in my favor. Thought the 45 was gonna run away from me, and then I thought the 4 was gonna catch me at the end, but it all worked out.
Well, Maxwell, now that you've got that race win and you are into the playoffs, what's your take heading to Darlington next week? The trap too tough to tame. The lady in black, you know, sometimes she smacks you in the mouth a little bit, and you get that Darlington stripe on the right side of the car. With some of the cornering being somewhat similar as Dover, what do you think we can expect out of you and your 48 crew next week at Darlington?
Oh man, I'm gonna definitely be running that wall. I don't mind scraping it a bit. You know, when you go to Darlington, you gotta hit the wall at least once. So that's the plan. Just knock it down on turn 1 and then try to see if I can win it afterwards.
I hear you, my man. Well, again, congratulations on being on top of the strategy here tonight. Putting yourself in the position that you needed in order to walk away with a race win. Your first win on the season, checkered flag in hand. Job well done, my man. Before we let you go and enjoy this victory, though, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody back home or at the shop?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to thank all the guys back at the shop in real life. My guys at Quick Lane, they were watching this race. I know about 4 or 5 of them were watching it. So huge shout out to Estras, Adrian, all the other guys who I can't remember the name of right now. Just kidding. Jay, Hondo, all those boys. Yeah, big shout out to them for supporting this racing. It makes me want to go back and actually race more, so it's awesome to have supportive friends. But another shout out to my boys John Freeman, Matt Montgomery, for having decent races, just bad luck. And then of course shout out to Next Level Racing. If you need a good sim rig, there ain't nothing better than Next Level Racing. So thank you, man.
All right, well, Maxwell, again, congratulations on the first win. We hope it's the first of many to come this season, and we'll hope to catch up with you in some of these post-race interviews throughout the rest of this season. But for now, enjoy this one. The first one never comes soon enough, and we'll see if we can't catch up with you here in the next few weeks. What do you say?
Absolutely, brother. Have a good one.
All right, well, there you have it. Final few parting words from Maxwell Castro in that 48 Next Level Racing machine. And straight to the point, he addressed it right when he came into the interview, went straight to the fact that there was some contact between him and Ryan Farrell. Those two drivers were really top class of the field. They've been fast all night long and some contact, and unfortunately, that put Farrell behind the 8 ball. And the 43 eventually had to call it a night, finishing outside of your top 15 and going right to it, right at it. Castro confronts it and puts the apology out there, and that's gonna vote well for him later on down the road, and that's gonna gain a lot of respect from a lot of other drivers throughout the league. Hearing the I'm sorry and my fault kind of thing coming straight away at a Castro in victory lane. So can't tip the hat enough to him for being that big of a man, that big of a race car driver to step out of the car in victory lane and immediately apologize and go to the issue at hand. But nonetheless, what a night, right, race fans? A long race here tonight at Dover International Speedway. We're going to have another tough track on our hands next week. It's in the name. It's in the nickname. The track too tough to tame. Darlington Raceway will host the throwback race next Tuesday night right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network for these International Virtual Racing League drivers. And I mean, it's been a crazy little race here tonight. We've had EOLs handed for not hitting the choose line on time, and we've had some self spins become some big damages for a lot of drivers. And well, there it is. Producers hitting those buttons in the background. You know the sounds, you know the familiar tunes, you know that it means it's time to run down tonight's unofficial race results right here from Dover International Speedway. Walking away with the first checkered flag of the season for him and his 48 crew, Maxwell Castro parks it in victory lane. Jim Otten, Adam Wood round out your podium drivers. Wesley Jeanette back in 4th, 5th place tonight to Jaden Gimble. Nicholas Pressey back in 6th, 7th place to Matthew Baker. Quentin Stewart in 8th, 9th goes to that 41 machine of Jordan with Chad Hitchcock. Filing out the top 10, John Tiller back in 11th, Eric Hegdal right there in 12th, Tyler Gentry, Randy Hinshaw, Patrick Gaspar back in 15th, 16th spot here tonight to the 42 of John Freeman. Matthew Montgomery will finish in 17th. The man that walked away with the pole position in both Stage 1 and Stage 2 wins the 43 of Ryan Farrell, finds some trouble, and finds himself finishing back in 18th. 19th tonight belongs to Nick Goebel. Tyler Brown back in 20th. Nathan Line in 21st. 22nd to Ryan Hinshaw. Charles Urick finishes tonight's race from Dover International Speedway back in 23rd. Tommy Schaefer and Billy Holcomb rounding out your top 25. As Nick Cannon finishes in 26th. Jason Harrison back in 27th. Jeff No is 28th. 29th here tonight belongs to Jaden Darling with Chris Whitaker rounding out the running order. Big shout out and tip of the cap to the gentlemen down the hall, race control and admins, both Cody and Joey McKinney. Thankless job and a job full of action here tonight. Gentlemen, we do appreciate all the hard work back behind the scenes just down the hall in the race control and admin booth. Well, we appreciate tonight's work and all the work that you have ahead of you for the rest of this season. Heck of a run so far. Through 11 races, we have found ourselves 7 different winners, so no real clear-cut class of the field. And as the music begins to fade, we're going to begin to wind up the cords and cut off the lights. So stay safe, stay love, my friends, and until next time, we'll meet you in turn 3.